Red, thanks for taking the time today. You know, a lot of people are not willing to have conversations like this.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because there's a lot of people and there's a lot of talking, but nobody's talking like this. You know, do this.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking like this.
They're not.
You know, a lot of people, they talk like this. Do this.
Yes, they don't talk like this.
Yeah, they don't talk like this, but they should. And that's the problem. There's not enough people who are willing to have conversations like these. So thank you again. Thank you for being here. And, you know, I think that this is good. And I think that, frankly, not enough people are doing it. But can I ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
And then maybe you can ask me some. And maybe we can kind of have a very positive dialogue here today.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Now, who do you think you are? Who do you personally think that you are?
I think I'm red. I think I'm like a freaking dragon lizard king, the baddest motherfucker ever born. That's who I think I am. The only way to get me normal in this conversation is to be in this cage. You know what I'm saying, Jimbo?
Yeah, that's good. Everybody has their own happy path. And I think that it's important that you recognize what yours is and that you find time to be there and show other people what that is to you as well. That's really healthy. That's really good. And I think the kids can learn something from it because the kids don't know what this is and they might not recognize it. But this is a man who knows who he is. Okay? There's a lot of people who don't know who they are. And that's fine. Maybe you figured it out. Maybe you don't, right? But this man knows who he is. And you can't take that from him. Nobody can take that from him. The government? What do you think about the government?
I think they fucking suck.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
What makes them bad?
The military-industrial complex is terrible. That's the reason we're in all these gosh dang wars.
Yeah. What's your favorite war?
Probably my favorite war?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard. I'm a big fan of World War I because that was the first use of chemical weapons. Mm-hmm. That's probably my favorite by far, actually.
So you're a big fan of science?
I love science.
Yeah, and now kind of what was your favorite science experiment you did in school?
Yeah, so me and my chemistry teacher, we actually got together a few years after I graduated, and we actually learned to cook crystal meth. And then we sold it on a really big scale and made a lot of hella money. And I used my gang connections to be able to sell, and I learned the entrepreneurial spirit of selling meth.
Yeah, I think that you're right. That's good, and I'm proud of you for doing that and for recognizing that it was a good thing because, like you said, the entrepreneurial spirit, right? You can spell that, but it doesn't matter as long as you know what it is. You don't even need to know how it's spelled, right?
Yep, correct.
You don't need to spell anything.
You don't even have to say it correct. You just know what it is.
No, you can say and then you can be like, yeah, I know what that is, and that's fine as long as you know what it is, right?
Yep.
Now, I think that the spirit that you have is really good, and I think that it was good that you had a community behind you.
Okay.
And that they were supportive in your efforts, and they probably, maybe bought from you what you were selling. And I think that it's important that you sell something it's really respectable that you sold something that you made yourself. Mm-hmm. Yep. Rather than, like drop shipping, right?
Yeah.
Drop shipping, it's money, but it's not yours.
Yeah. Those people are freaking cowards. They put no effort into it. And they're not even making that much money. If they would just make it themselves, they'd make hella money. They'd be richer than Bill Gates, man. It's insane.
Yeah, Bill Gates, he's kind of one of the people that I like to talk about when I talk about people that I think about, right? Because he's like this, and then we're kind of everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. He's got his spot, but he's too stuck in that spot.
Yep.
What do you think that spot means?
For him?
Yeah, for anybody.
Well, I think the spot is just you get stuck in everyday life and you just can't break out of the matrix because we're all in a computer simulation right now. So he is really stuck in his matrix right now, and that's why he does all his crazy batshit Bruce Willis, Bill Gates stuff.
Yeah, Bruce Willis. Now he got dementia, right?
He does, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think what we can learn from that is that everybody is gonna have their time where they're the hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just stay long enough. Eventually, they're gonna become the villain.
Yep.
And I think that Bill Gates, he did something good with Microsoft, but now he's around and he's the villain now.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody will have a time where they can pick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to stay the hero or do you want to become
the villain?
Yes, exactly. And I think that it's important that we make that decision on our own and don't let the world influence that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I agree.
Now, in terms of the gang life kind of erased you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you were a human, you were raised by the wolves, right?
That is correct.
Now, what was it like being raised by wolves?
Being raised by wolves is really cool. I mean, you learn to fight for yourself, like, right out of the gate, because, like, your brothers and sisters are trying to eat you, too. So, like, it's survival of the fittest. So, like, I learned how to defend myself from an early age. That's what I learned from the wolves. I also learned their language, which is just a beautiful language.
Now, would you mind, can you teach me a couple of phrases?
Yeah, like when you do, ow, like that, that means just hello. It's a very polite wolf greeting.
May I try? I mean, you can correct me.
Absolutely.
I don't want to disrespect the language.
That's perfectly fine.
Woo!
I thought that sounded really good.
Really?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It was very beautiful and I felt touched.
And it's good that we find things that touch us, right?
Yep, exactly.
Because not enough people get touched.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we crave some type of touch deep down.
Yep.
But in terms of the gangs, do you like violence?
I love violence because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
So it just kind of kept that advantage I had growing up and just kept it going. And so that's how I made a lot of money through the gangs, is through selling meth and violence.
And did you hurt people that you loved?
See, now that's where it gets a little funky. Everybody has a price, but you can't put a price on love. So those who you love, you don't hurt them. People you hate, you hurt them more, make money, become richer than Bill Gates.
So you hurt the people that you don't love.
Correct.
Okay. And you love the people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what should the punishment be have you accidentally hurt somebody that you love without the intention of doing it?
No, I haven't. I'm very careful with my ways.
Now, if I told you that I did that, what would you think of me different?
You know, I wouldn't, because everyone makes mistakes. And in the gang life, not a lot of people realize this, but it's a very forgiving and growing experience that they put an emphasis on.
But okay, so I like that.
Okay.
But what if I knew that I was doing something wrong and I didn't care, with the knowledge that I shouldn't be doing it?
That wouldn't end too well, just because you do know what you're doing is wrong.
So then you think that there should be some type of negative repercussion for me.
That is correct.
I like that. I think that we should learn from our mistakes, but when we learn, if we make that mistake again, then we should be punished.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think that World War I is a good place to start. I think that chemical weapons were, I don't know, I think that they kind of turned a new leaf for the nation. And frankly, I wish that we talked about them more.
Yes, I do. I wish we did as well.
What are other things that you think should be talked about more in general?
just in general. We've touched on a lot of things in this interview so far. I mean, like entrepreneurial spirit should be mentioned a lot. We're talking a little bit about World War One. I don't know. I think they should just get into more conspiracy theories and what really happened in history. That's what needs to be talked about more. Like, Kennedy was assassinated by the CIA. Not a lot of people know it because he's trying to let everyone know about military-industrial complex, and the CIA didn't like it because they're effectively useless. He wanted to get rid of them, so that's why they had him whacked. Not a lot of people know that.
I didn't. I don't even know who he is. So
Yeah,
it's a shame that I don't.
that's all right. He was one of our presidents during the 60s.
Is that would I have been there for?
You know, Jimbo, I think you would have been there. I mean, you do have a very youthful look, but at the same time, too, I mean, you take good care of yourself, too. And I guess that's one thing we don't talk about either is Jimbo's self-care routine and how he looks so youthful.
Say that again.
You look youthful, Jimbo, and we need to talk about that routine a little bit more.
Yeah. So you're wondering, like I wake up. What do I do?
Yeah, and how do you stay so young and fit?
Yeah. So pretty much, I wake up. I go back to sleep. Wake up again. Go back to sleep. Wake up one more time. And then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of like to start my day like that with just a little bit of a shock to my system.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of metabolizes things in itself. Now you get up, you go, I fly a couple planes.
Okay.
All right. I do some stunts. I stand on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
I hang onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
I float.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the clip. I float, but I don't have to do that much, and I think that because I have a good grasp of who I am, the world kind of just revolves around me in a way that benefits me and everybody who decides to be with me.
Wow. I never really did think of it that way. I really like that.
Yeah, so it's really not a specific routine as it is just the lifestyle mindset, just knowing who you are, and who you have, who you still are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as long as you keep that in mind, you will stay growing in the box of the life that you want to be in. Not only that, but you'll stay on the path of life in the way that you want to see yourself continue in. But also, when you grow up, you will still find that path. Not only that, but you'll kind of go and you'll kind of come back, right? And now what does that mean when you come back? Well, when you come back, you're back and you're better than ever. And the key is to just keep coming back. No matter what happens in life, you get knocked down, you come back, you keep going, you get knocked down again, you go to sleep, you wake up, you go down again, and then you keep doing that, and then pretty much eventually, you're going to be good.
That all made a lot of sense, and it was very beautiful to hear you talk about it.
Thank you. Thank you for challenging me to be able to put myself into words.
Mm-hmm.
If you had any advice for the kids out there, what would you share? If you could only share 3 words with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
what would those 3 words be?
3 words with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Join a gang. Have a family around you to be able to take care of you in the form of a gang. That would be my advice.
So have a family. You make the family being the gang. Would you start your own gang, or would you join one that exists? Or
See, now, that's where it gets a little complicated. I don't think a lot of people have the personality or even the resources to start their own gang. So that's why I'd encourage them to find an existing gang that's very strong, that's willing to take them in, and that has good morals.
But that also makes you a follower rather than a leader, correct?
That is correct.
Now, what do you think about not being do you ever want to be a leader? Or do you think being a leader is something that you need to be?
Not everyone's born to be a leader, so that's why I'd recommend going down the path I described. But if you do have that dog in you and become a leader and you know you're a leader, you could just branch off and start your own gang. Because you were a part of that gang and you're kind of like, hey, I want to bridge out and do my thing, they're going to support you in that. So that's kind of how it works both ways. If you're more of a follower, you can just stay with them because they're cool, they'll take care of you. But if you want to go out on your own, they'll be like, hell yeah, we support you in everything you do.
So that kind of goes again. A lot of people say be a leader, not a follower. But you're saying join a gang, be a follower, and then maybe if you not everybody is cut out for it. There's roles for everybody. Somebody's got to be the bitch. Somebody's got to be, the ammo guy, right? Somebody's got to be the knife guy.
Yep.
Somebody needs to be, like, maybe the human resources department for the gang.
Exactly. To get rid of those disputes. Yeah. Diffuse them.
See, I think that maybe I should join, and if you would like to put me on to your gang, that I would consider it in a heartbeat.
For sure. Definitely we could get you a application for the Bloods.
Okay.
I think you'd make a fantastic addition to the gang.
Now, is there application fee?
There is not. It's actually free to join.
Free to join, but you got to go through you got to get vetted.
Exactly.
Okay. I like going to the vet. When I have an animal that needs to get taken care of. I think that it's good to keep them up to date on their shots and make sure that you give them the best chance at having a good life, just like you want to have for yourself.
Exactly. Got to care about the animals.
Yeah. And I think that gangs do a good job of caring about the animals too. They don't do dog fights.
No.
They don't do anything like that. And I think that that's good because gambling is bad.
Yeah.
You like to gamble?
I do like to gamble.
Okay.
It's a good revenue stream, especially if you know what's gonna happen. Like if I'm betting on some dog races, I know which dogs have been, they've been either not taken care of, or I know which ones are faster because they're healthier because they go to the vet. So that's how it's a good revenue stream for me, and I love gambling.
Okay, well that kind of goes against what I'm used to. I don't think that gambling is good, but maybe that's what I need to consider. I think that it's good to have a different perspective. And I don't think we can all be right, but I don't think we can all be wrong either. I think we can all be right?
Well, not really.
But something along those lines, though, things can be okay for everybody. Right?
Yeah, I think everything will be okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that Red has made that clear today. And, if I could end with one thing here, something a little special. All right. Now, you see all of these cards. There's no cards that are facing the opposite way.
They're all facing.
Now, if I spread them this way, same thing, right?
Yep, they're facing out.
This will be important at some point.
Okay.
And Red, right?
Yep.
Do you like gambling? So you probably like cards.
I absolutely love cards.
Okay. Take these. Okay, and now I'm gonna have to turn around. All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how to cut cards?
Sort of.
You just take a chunk and then you move it to the bottom.
Okay. Yep.
You show me that you know that. Yeah, like that. Yep. So you're changing the top and bottom card every time you do that.
That is true.
Right?
That's factual.
Okay. Now listen to me closely, Red. So you can cut the cards again if you want.
Yeah.
You can cut them again. All right.
Yep.
Now you can, or not. It's up to you. It's your life. You can cut them again if you want again.
Yeah, why not? We'll do it one more
I
time.
don't even need to know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can choose to either move. Name a small number.
Would you consider 8 a small number?
Yeah. You can kind of guesstimate, but move 8 cards either from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. It's up to you. Or not. It's up to you.
Okay. I have done that.
And if you want to do that again in some other fashion, you can, either top to bottom, bottom to top, whatever you want to do.
I've done that.
Are we good? Okay. Now I want you to take either the top or bottom card.
Mm-hmm.
Choose one of them. Pull that away so it's in a different hand.
Yep.
And now flip it the other way.
Yep.
And put it in the middle of the deck. That way it's now facing the opposite way. In the middle.
Yep.
Now, top or bottom,
Mm-hmm.
up to you.
Yep.
Take a card,
Yep.
flip it over, put it in the middle.
You said flip it over?
Yeah, make sure that it flips over. That way, when it's in the middle of the deck, you'll be able to recognize what that card is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
One more time.
Yep.
Top or bottom. It's your life.
Yep.
Take a card. Flip it over again. Put it in the middle.
Okay. I've now done that 3 times.
Okay, now flip the deck in your hand over. That way, all of those cards in the middle are now face down.
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, where did I put the box here? Here, take this. Put the cards in the box for me. Put the cards in the box.
Sorry.
Okay. Jimbo has many talents. Jimbo is a public speaker. Jimbo is a person who likes to talk to people and learn about the gangs. But Jimbo also likes to do a little something special. All right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Unbelievable. Can you put your hand up to mine? Okay. Ace of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I'm good.
There's a 3. There's a 3. This is the 3 of. This is the 3 of spades.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the 6 of spades, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, take those cards out. That way we can show our audience here. Okay. And now we're going to spread them. So the cards I said were the Ace of clubs, the 3 of spades, and the 6 of spades. Red, 6 of spades, 3 of spades, Ace of clubs. Those are the cards that you picked. Shake my hand. I'd like to shake your hand, but I can't. Just know that I love you and that I think you're amazing and that, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Beautiful.